Thanks again for signing up to coach and help us out by volunteering in our program for volleyball. We're going to go over a few rules here. We're going to get the season started on May 8th, and then we will end the season on June 15th. We will not play on Memorial Day weekend. Games will be on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. So let's payments due by April 26th. If you can meet that date, just make sure we get that payment before the season starts. This is the coaches meeting. Please tune in. And if you have any questions after watching this, please call me or call anyone at Kids Inc. We all have can help you out on the rules and everything for the grades you're coaching. The roster maximum this year is we're only going to have 10 players per team. Now that doesn't mean if you want more players that we will add players. If you don't mind getting to going over that, we will definitely let you have a few more players if they want to play with you. We will check you out 2 volleyballs. Please make sure we have those volleyball back by June 22nd. It's really important for us to continue this, continue to pass out balls to you guys every season, but we can't continue to do that if we don't get them back. And we have a lot that we still haven't got back from fall, so make sure you turn those in as quick as possible after the season. Communication. Once you get your roster, please reach out to all your team. I would suggest you call everyone, so your first contact is talking to them personally. Text sometimes can get lost, not seen, and communication could go sideways on that. So make sure you've contacted all your players so they know what's going on with your practices, with your games, and what team they're on. If you have some trouble contacting them and the number's not working or something, get hold of us and maybe we can find an alternate number and get you guys contacted so you guys are on the same page. If we update your roster, let's say you get a roster to begin with 7 or 8 players. If we add any more players, we will send you an updated roster as we do that and let you know that you have more players on your roster. Once the season is over, you pass out your medals. Those medals will be available for coaches to pick up prior to your final games. So make sure, call Kids Inc. and make sure we have them, and they should be available by your last game. All players, when you play, please make sure you have your Kids Incorporated shirt that you got for this team. No shirts from other seasons or from other teams. Let's make sure you have your shirt that was given to you and assigned by this season because it has the numbers that are assigned to your kid. Jewelry or hair is not permitted. Now, with that exception, if they do have some stud earrings or something, if you put some Band-Aids or athletic tape on there, we'll allow that because we understand that sometimes the little ones have gotten their ears pierced recently for the first time and can't take them out. But let's not just let them hang. But no dangling jewelry or anything like that that could hook on someone else's arm or on yourself and get hurt. If you have a hard or plaster cast and injured, we cannot allow you to play. Just don't want anyone else getting hurt by that cast or your own kid being hurting themselves worse with a broken arm or something. Knee pads are required. This is very important. I don't want my referees to be put in a position where they have to tell a little kid that they can't play because they don't have their knee pads. So please, coaches and parents, make sure your parents know they have to have those knee pads to play. Each match is going to have 3 complete sets. It doesn't matter if the first team wins 2. It's not 2 out of 3. It's just 3 games, 3 matches, sets, regardless of what you do. After 15 minutes, each set is 15 minutes long. If no team has reached 25, the time will end the set. Whatever comes first, 25 points or 15 minutes. There will be a 3-minute break between each set, and each team will be allowed 1 30-second timeout. The clock will stop on 1 timeout per set, only for 30 seconds. If you must have 6 players to play. If you don't have 6 players, once again, as referees and coaches, we'll use our due diligence. If a team only has 5 or 4, we can, instead of a forfeit, we can maybe make that work. But let's try to have 6 players at every game. Other than that, that way we can have a good full game. So we're going to provide you 1 official. Now, during the officials, let's make sure that we're not arguing with them too much as parents and coaches. If you do have a question about rules, wait for a later time and call me or call someone at the office. And if it's just a rule question, we can make that right for the next time, make sure we're on the same page. But let's not be approaching refs after game or during game and causing an issue out there because they're doing their best and we need them. It's really hard to find officials, so we really need them out there. So please use your due diligence and have respect for each other, which I expect my refs to have the same. Each team must provide one linesman and one scorekeeper. We will have the clock, so one can keep the clock or the books, which either one, but each team has to provide one person at that table and one person calling the lines. And you must be 18 years and older, and the scorekeepers must sit together at the table just so we don't avoid confusion. Coaches, you're responsible for the physical and mental well-being of all the children. They are in your care during your time of coaching. Make sure that you're having positivity, teaching them to play, and just being a good communication with the kids and also with the parents outside of the game. And just make sure that you're talking to your parents and spectators about controlling their conduct, that we do have a conduct code, and we expect you guys to be respectful out there. Cheer your team on all you want, have fun, and just make sure it's a good experience for all these kids. And then the other thing, coaches, you have to ensure that your players are playing enough, like your minimum playing time is met. So we had some problems with that in the fall. Let's make sure we're following that. All assistant coaches, if you have someone working with those kids either at practice with you or at games, they have to have a background report. No background, they cannot be practicing with the kids. They cannot be helping on the bench. They have to have a background report. Another thing, no alcohol, no tobacco, drugs, or anything are permitted at any of the Kids Inc. games. Don't let an ineligible player play. If they're not on your roster, they're not with the shirt, they cannot play. And then most of all, use good sportsmanship. Don't go back and forth with the other team, with the refs, with the other fans. Any issue can be resolved as long as you handle it the right way and come to me or come to someone at Kids Inc. We can handle that. The gyms. Please respect AISD's gyms. They do us a huge favor by partnering with us to have these games in there. And even at your practice times in the elementaries, please clean up after yourself. Do not mess with stuff in those elementary schools where you practice. Do not mess with the teacher's stuff in there. That is a classroom for the physical education teachers at AISD. Make sure that you're not messing with them. If you bring other kids to the gym, please have them seated and not running around, climbing on things. We had a lot of video turned into us last year that we ended up having to fix a lot of things because kids were jumping on stuff and breaking stuff, pulling down classroom material. Please, if you take other kids to practice, do not let them run around while the teams are practicing. Last thing, if a kid hits their head on the floor or has any kind of concussion type injury, if their head is hurt, let's use our due diligence, remove them, and make sure if they do see a doctor and to return, we need that note to make sure they can return. We just need to really watch those head injuries close. So the first volleyball rules we're going to cover is second grade. Players must be in second grade for this school year. First graders cannot play up in this league. This is just for second grade. We can't have any kids moving up because first grade volleyball is not offered, so we can't have them move up. The game rules. All players must play in at least half the match. The serving area on second grade will be 15 feet inside the volleyball court line. So where regular volleyball serving line is, you're going to go up 15 feet, and that's where you're going to serve from. Now, both coaches and referee, use your due diligence. I mean, if nobody's having trouble getting it over, make some adjustments if you need to. We just want the kids to be able to keep the ball alive and play volleyball. Substitutions in second grade level will only be made at the center back position. Stay in order. You can't sub like just from position to position. It must be in the center back on second grade. Each server will get 3 serves. No matter if they miss all 3, make all 3, miss 1, make 2. They get 3 serves regardless. You can use overhand or underhand, whichever one. Teams are going to be awarded a point on just whether they serve or not. If the server misses the serve, the other team gets the point. It's not a serve only point. You get a point if you win the point. Now, when you receive a serve, you don't have to do the forearm method, but we want to teach the kids the right way. So try to do that. They're not going to call any fouls or anything for returning a serve up, but let's make sure that we're trying to teach the kids the right way. You do not have to win by 2 points in this. If the final score is 25-24, that's ball game. We're not going to go to 2 points. We're on a time limit, so you do not have to win by 2 points. Let's move on to to the 3rd and 4th grade volleyball. Same season begins on May 8th, season ends on June 15th, and the payment is due by April 26th. Like I said again, with the 2nd grade, if you can't pay by then, just make sure that we just get it before the first game because we want your kid to be able to play out there. All right, the game rules for 3rd and 4th grade. All players, again, must play in at least half the match. Obviously, if you have 13 or 14 players, that's a little tough to do. Do your best. But if you have 12 players or less, that can be done very easily. They each have to play at least half the match. The serving area for 3rd grade is 15 feet inside the volleyball court line. From the back line up 15 feet for 3rd grade. For 4th grade, it's 10 feet. Now, obviously, we're going to use our due diligence with our refs and coaches. If you feel like they're not getting it over at all, then let's just work together to make it enjoyable for the kids, and you can decide to move them up another inch or 2 inches or a foot. Just work together on that. The net height for 3rd and 4th grade is 6 feet 6. Each match will consist of 3 complete sets. Teams will not play best 2 out of 3. It's 3 sets. On this 3rd and 4th grade, substitution is only going to be allowed at the center back position. Stay in order. Center back position only, substitution. A server may not serve more than 3 serves. After 3 consecutive serves, the result is a side out. If a serve is missed, the result is a side out and point for the other team. So these players don't get 3 serves regardless, but the most they can have is 3 successful serves. If they miss their first serve, then it goes over to the other team. Front row players cannot attack the serve. If you have somebody that's kind of ahead of the game and tall and know what they're doing, like trying to jump up and block a serve, you cannot front row block a serve. You have to let it come over the net. All these sets in 3rd and 4th grade will be played to 25 points with a cap of 27. So the difference in 3rd and 4th, you can go the extra points to win by 2, but once you get to 27, it's over. You don't have, if it's 27-26, game's over. You don't have to win by 2 after 27. If time has expired, if one team is not ahead by 2 points when the first team to 27 wins, if the time hasn't expired. If the time has expired, a team must win by 2 points. So if it's 23-22 and time expires, you will play to whoever wins 2, but the cap is 27 points. All right, coaches, let's move into the 5th and 8th grade volleyball rules. Rules are a little different for this from the little ones. So we'll go into the game rules. All players must again play in half the match. The serving area is from the back line of the volleyball court, so they will serve from the actual back line. Every player should get the opportunity to serve during the match at least once. The net height for 5th grade is 6 foot 6, same as 4th grade down. But the net for the 6th through 8th grade is 7 feet. Each match will consist of 3 complete sets. Time limit for all matches is 60 minutes. There will be a 3-minute break between each set. Each team will be allowed 1 30-second time per set. Substitutions. This is what's different between this grade, 5th through 8th. They can be made on a position-to-player basis, only at the 10-foot line in front of the bench. So do not run into the court until you've been checked in with the officials, but you can substitute from position to player. For example, if you may substitute a player for another player, the substitution must substitute for the same players. If it's the same set and you've substituted one kid for another, if you're going to substitute again that set, that player has to go in for the same person. That applies to the 2nd and 3rd sets also. You may substitute any amount of players you want at the same time, but each 7 players must go in for the same person each time. No lineups are required. Front row players, once again, may not attack the serve. The officials, like I said with the little ones, we have one official for you. Please make sure that we're asking, you can ask questions about rules, you can disagree about anything, but keep it respectful. You're in charge of your parents, of course. If you have a question about a rule, like I've said in the other grades, give us a call at Kids Inc. We'll discuss it and get on the same page for the next game. All sets going to be played to 25 points, cap at 27. Before time, if a time hasn't expired, if a team is not ahead by 2 points, when they reach 25 points, the first team to 25 wins. Time still running, it's 26-25, you go to 27 is the max. If time's expired, a team must win by two points. 27 is the cap again. So if the time expires is 22-20, then that's the match. They're up by 2. So once again, thanks coaches. Really appreciate you jumping up to coach and volunteer. Can't do it without you, and hope you have a good season.